facelifts can be tricky to spot, but that's not the case with the 3-door Pro Cee'd, which now looks even sleeker thanks to a redesigned front nose and new LED rear tail lights. There are important changes under the skin too, with an all-new 1 litre 3-cylinder turbo petrol engine and a new trim level called GT line. And if you go for this GT Performance model, there are new wheels with larger front brakes nestled underneath them, an updated interior, and the option of this very striking yellow flame paintwork. And you know what? We actually think it looks really cool and can stand up to even more expensive competition. The cabin is a good place to be with a decent driving position, and while rear visibility is poor, you do get reverse parking sensors as standard across the range, or a reversing camera in the GT line and GT models. And those also come with this attractive 7-inch touchscreen, which has logical menus and is very responsive to use. In typical Kia tradition, the Pro Cee'd is also very well equipped, and you get DAB radio, Bluetooth and USB charging ports, even with the entry-level SR7 trim. If you go for the new GT line trim level, you get luxuries such as a leather steering wheel, alloy pedals and some gloss black trim around the fascia. In the GT model, you get this unique digital central instrument display, which can show you your speed digitally, as well as turbo pressure and how much torque you're producing, and it actually works quite well on the move. I also really like how the GT button is located on the steering wheel, so you don't have to go hunting around for it if the road suddenly gets a lot more interesting. And then of course there are these figure-hugging Recaro sport seats. Once in the front of the Pro Cee'd, it's really easy to get comfortable and there's lots of seat adjustment and plenty of space. But the main issue is these front doors, because with it being a 3-door, they're so long that in a car park it's really difficult to open them far enough, and you end up being squeezed up against the side of the car. But on the plus note, when you do get in, there's this handy arm which brings the seat belt forward to you, making it easier to reach. Those long doors do make it easier to get into the back, but when you are back here, it's rather gloomy thanks to these very small windows. Luckily though, there is plenty of space for 2 adults. The Pro Cee'd has exactly the same 380 litre boot as the normal Cee'd hatchback, which means it's very impressive for this kind of car, and measures more than 312 litres of the Scirocco and matches the Astra GTC. The only disadvantages are the slightly higher loading lip and a smaller boot opening. The standard Pro Cee'd looks good, but you shouldn't really expect sports car handling because it shares its suspension setup with the standard Cee'd family hatchback. So it has enough grip just about, but it's more aimed at comfort and is really good at smoothing out bumps. A new addition for 2016 is torque vectoring across the range, which can brake one of the inside front wheels in a sharp corner to help reduce understeer. The steering's also been revised, and while you no longer get the 3 flex steer settings that you're used to, the standard one feels so much more natural that we'd much rather have this. The most important new engine is the all-new 1 litre turbo petrol with just 3 cylinders. It comes with either 98 or 118 brake horsepower, and when we drove it at the car's launch, we found it really sprightly, and it can also return up to 57 mpg. The 1.6 CRDI diesel has had a power bump from 126 to 134 brake horsepower, and you can also now get it with a 7-speed automatic dual clutch gearbox, which is far more efficient than the old 6-speed auto. But we're in the GT model with its 1.6 litre turbo petrol engine and 201 brake horsepower. It can get from 0 to 60 in 7.3 seconds. So it's kind of an in-betweener car, because it's not quite a hot hatch like the Renault Sport Megane or Focus ST, but it obviously has more speed than a standard model, and actually that really suits the car. In fact, in a lot of ways this weirdly reminds me of the Polo GTI, because like that car, this is quick with plenty of grip, but it has very supple suspension and a mature feeling about it, so it won't beat you up day to day. But actually it's quite unobtrusive, especially compared to the one in the 308 GT. The Pro Cee'd starts from £15,250, but that only gets to the SR7 trim level with a rather dated 1.4 litre petrol. So we'd recommend going for the 17 grand 1 litre turbo petrol as a starting point. If you want the full-on 201 horsepower GT model, then it costs around 23 grand, which is roughly the same as a Ford Focus ST. Kia has taken the opportunity to introduce some meaningful changes to the Pro Cee'd, especially the 1 litre petrol engine and also the attractive new GT line trim level. It's a stylish car which is well equipped and comfortable to drive. The new 1 litre petrol engine injects some fun lower down in the range, while this top GT model is still great to drive. It might not be quite as quick or as focused as some of the better known hot hatches, but it does come into its own on longer trips and tedious commutes. But could you see yourself behind the wheel of a Kia Pro Cee'd? Let us know in the comments and don't forget to hit the subscribe button. Click on the inquire button to find out more details about this car, or for any other models visit carkeys.co.uk, and to watch more reviews click on one of the links on screen now.